Hey everyone, Mike here, Garage and Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a little quick video we're going to do. It is getting to be the time of the year where we head north to go on our hunting trip, and pretty much everything I own is ready for an oil change. So today we're going to do a quick one. We've got the Honda Rancher 350. I think it is a 2001 model, but we need to get that thing serviced. It's really simple, only requires a few tools, and it's fairly cheap in the realm of oil changes. So I'm gonna go get that thing. I'm gonna run around a little bit so it gets good and warm, and then let's get the oil changed on it. It's a nice day to let the chickens out. Okay, let's run this thing around some more and get it warm. You can see where I dug the other day, that hole's still full of water. Same with the inlet pond, still got a bunch of water out in there. So that's probably gonna be a while till we can get into these spots and dig again. Let's take a look at the liquid feed. We just got a load of feed yesterday. It was empty. I didn't film any of it because it was kind of a last minute deal. Dad called them and literally about an hour later they're showing up with feed. This thing is full. See that? They sure like this stuff. I should have filmed it because as he was unloading, he didn't even get the pump fired up, start pumping this in there, and the cows are right up here starting to lick on it. The cows really like it, and they look a whole lot better on this feed. Okay, let me get this thing drove around a little bit more, and we'll see you in the shop. All right, here it is. Yep, you can see that thing is a 2002. Now, we've had this machine since it was brand new, so that's it's 2024. That's 22 years. But this machine has served us well. We have gotten a lot of use. Before the Ranger, before we had it, this thing was a daily use machine, checking cows, checking fences, taking it hunting with us every year. And we've had zero issues out of this machine. So today, let me show you how quick and easy it is to change the oil on this machine. So we're ready for our hunting trip coming up here pretty quick. Okay, so what you need to change oil, you need 2.1 quarts of oil. This is Honda oil. You need the O-ring for the oil filter cover. That is a seal for your drain plug and your oil filter. That is a Honda OEM. There's the part number to it. Now you need an 8mm socket. That is to get your oil filter cover housing off. And then you need a 17mm for your drain plug. Then you need a funnel to help you add oil back to the machine. And we need an oil drain pan to put under it to get this oil drained out. And also, if you're wondering, the drain plug seal, that was $1.92. The O-ring for the oil filter housing was $5.41. That's a little steep for an O-ring. The oil filter itself was $8.50, and the oil was $7.99 a quart. Okay, for a quick and easy drain pan, I'm just taking an old jug that's empty. I cut a hole in the side of it. We'll just lay this under the machine, get the drain plug out of it. Okay, let's get this oil drain out of this thing. Okay, now the drain plug. See that big hole right up here? Right here? That is the drain plug for this machine. Okay, we made a little bit of a mess. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to get the oil cleaned off my hands. These tubbo towels worked pretty good cleaning that oil up. See, my hand was covered. It's pretty clean now. Now, as far as the drain plug goes, I'm just going to take some brake clean and soak it down, clean everything off of it. That is clean. We need to check and make sure that the other seal is not still stuck up on that drain plug, because I didn't see it unless it fell off into the pan. And put this on. Got a new seal installed. Let me find the old one or make sure the old one's still not on here. Okay, let me grab another rag and we'll get down and put this drain plug back in and clean up our mess. You guys ever make messes when you're changing oil or anything? Never fails, it happens. Okay. I do not feel any seal on that. Okay, let's get this put back in. Tight enough. All right, now we need to move the oil pan and open up the oil filter and get that out. This thing's gonna drip. Looks like a bunch of that oil got up on the skid plate. Okay, so the oil filter is behind these three 8mm bolt plugs. I'll move the oil drain pan down here below it because expect oil to be behind this. Once we pop this cover off, more than likely there's gonna be some oil drain down. Let's get those off. Okay, we got our 8mm on here. Let's go and get all this stuff broke loose. Now just make note, these aren't very tight. This is all cast aluminum, and you can strip this out and break it pretty easy. We're already draining some oil out of it, so just expect there to be oil behind this cover. And on the back side of this oil filter, there's going to be a spring. Make sure we don't lose that. And since this is dissimilar metals, this is steel bolt, aluminum housing, we're going to put anti-seize back on these bolts before we put them back together. Put it back in here and just wiggle, wiggle. That thing come right off. Now your O-ring for your cover is going to go right here in this groove, right along this. So I'm going to get this O-ring pulled off, get all this cleaned out. Here's the old oil filter. And the spring's right there. We're going to just leave it right in there for right now. We'll get all this stuff wiped up. Okay, for that O-ring, I just need some sort of little pick. Get it behind it. And clip it right off. So now that it's off, I'll go ahead and take some brake clean or solvent tank, something, and get all this cleaned up. Now there is a second O-ring right here. The dealer did not include that. Really kind of wish they would. If there's a seal on it, I want to change it, but they didn't. So just be aware, if you have a cover like this, it's going to have two O-rings on it. One to seal inside here, one right here. You really should change them both. Okay, now I'm going to take part of this that's clean and just kind of wipe out the sealing area. And then we're going to wipe off a bunch of this oil that had drained off of everything. Okay, so again, there's a part number for the oil filter. Now this oil filter, one side has a seal on it, one side does not. This seal is going to go right here on this cover, just like so. But let me go ahead and get this O-ring put on here. Then we'll get a little oil. We'll just find some residual oil and wipe over this O-ring, just so it's not dry going back together with it. I'm going to go ahead and get a bolt ready, put some anti-seize on it, just so when I put this cover back on, we can get a bolt started and don't try to fall back apart. And on this cover, you've got your seal there. The spring is still in there. So we'll put this together, slide all this in, and start a bolt. Now, all these just need snug. These are not real tight. Also, so you know, that is your dipstick right here. Let's go ahead and get some oil put in this thing. Okay, so the oil fill plug, right here on this side. Take this plug out. Get us a funnel. and we'll start getting our Honda oil put back in it. 2.1 quarts. And here's quart number 2. And the 0.1. That's probably going to be close. Okay, next step, let's go ahead and check the oil. Okay, so when I pull the dipstick out, just see where it's at. It should be pretty close. We are going to have to start it because that oil filter is going to be drained. I just like to go ahead and check beforehand. Make sure we're not, or make sure we are still on the dipstick. And we are? Okay. So I'm going to go to the other side, pull the funnel out, and put the fill plug back in. And we'll start the same, let it run for a few minutes and check for leaks. Okay, before I check the oil, just using that same brake clean to clean a bunch of this oily residue off everything. Okay, now let's check the oil again. We should be between the safe marks. Yep, right up here. It's right below that upper mark, but close to it. Okay, it is literally that simple. While it was running, I did go around and look underneath, make sure nothing's leaking. Nothing's leaking. So simple as that. If you enjoyed the video, give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.